Oh, sorry. Thank you. A dinner at a restaurant was advertised as $60 plus tax. So that means that the dinner cost $60 without the tax. The total of the bill for this was, so all you need to do is find the tax, the amount of money the tax is being charged, and add it. Now, looking at your price, you know by elimination it can be A, because when you get taxed, your price does go up. Okay. So you know it's one of the two of these here. So let's see which one. 18%. 18% times 60 over 1. So we know we're going to cancel the zeros first to make it easy. I recommend you could always divide by 10. So this is about working smart, if you understand what I'm trying to show you. If you multiply 18 by 6 and divide by 10, you just got to move the point somewhere. Everybody see what I'm showing you? So don't, whenever you have 10 as a denominator, leave it because it can make it easier for you to calculate. So you just go to the side, find out what's 18 times 6. And hopefully everybody could do this without a calculator. We know 18 times 6 is 108 when you calculate it. So you're going to get 108 divided by 10. What does this mean? If I have 108 divided by 10, I should know that I just got to move the point to the left once. So where do you put the point though? You put it to the back. You move it once to the left. So you're going to end up with $10.80. Please remember 10.8 is not $10.08. It is 80 cents, okay? Because some people is get a mix up. So which one of this looks like the answer? B. B is the answer. All right, keep it moving. You realize higher purchase questions, consumer questions are a lot. The cost price of a refrigerator is $1,850. A buyer who's given a discount of 5% for a cash price will pay. So you know you just got to find 5% of this and subtract it. So just do that. 5 over 100 times 1850. What's the smartest thing to do? Over 1. Cancel the 0 first. Boom, boom. If I were you, I would cancel and try break this down. Right? It's up to you, to be honest. Or you could just, if 5 into itself goes once, 5 into 10 goes 2 times. So this would just be 185 divided by 2. Right? And 185 divided by 2 is, you do your long division. Let me ask a quick question. Everybody know how to do this? Long division properly? Everybody comfortable with long division? Let me know, please. Because these are things, if you know you're not comfortable with, you have to do on your own time and practice because you need to be strong with stuff like this. I'm just going to do it quickly in case anybody need a quick refresher. 2 into 1 you can, 2 into 18, go 9 times. 9 times 2 is 18, you subtract. Get 0, you bring down the 5. 2 into 5 goes 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 1. Now you realize, you see why you're doing this? What do you do here? What do you do from this? You add a point, you add a 0, and you bring down the 0 to make it 10. And you bring up the point here. Don't forget that these kind of things. 2 into 10 goes 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract, you go until you make it to 0. Now, do we have any money that look like that? We must need 2 decimal places. So that means it's $92.50 is our discount. So is this our answer? No, because discount, you must subtract it from the cost price. So it's 1850 minus $92.50. Based on this, which one can be the answer? B can be the answer because there's no way we take away 50 cents and end up with a whole dollar. So B and D out. So your answer is either A or C. And why can't it be C? A, sorry. How are we going to get more if it's a discount? So just by that, you realize may even have to calculate it. By elimination only, my answer is C. I hope y'all seeing these things, you know. Don't go spend all your energy and time calculating before you look and make sure that you can find the answer without it, okay? All right. 16, the annual interest rate on a mortgage of a house assessed at a value of 450,000 is 5 cents on every dollar. So that means for every dollar, you gotta pay 5 cents. What is the interest paid on the mortgage for a year, for the first year? So what do we do, guys? We need to find out how many 5 cents we could get from this, right or wrong? So what are we supposed to do? Janela says B. Is that correct? Do we divide? Guys, give me some feedback. Let's go. You can't see the question. The annual interest rate on a mortgage on a house assessed as a value of 450 is 5 cents on every dollar. So what is the answer? The answer, guys, I'm not talking. If y'all don't want to have class, just let me know so we could just cancel it then, because it makes sense for me to be here and y'all ain't talking. Yeah, man, talk to me because Amy doing the exam, you know. You got to divide, you sure? What are you dividing? Which two numbers? And let me explain this, because this is a question. I read the report before. A lot of people got this question wrong. Majority of the students who that year got this question wrong. You have to be careful. No, this is the trick about this. Look at what this means. 5 cents on every dollar. This literally telling you what to do. Okay? What is 5 cents on every dollar? 5 cents out of a dollar. 5 cents out of 100 cents. Everybody see that? So first of all, everybody, and you realize how I translated this to working? You realize how you're supposed to translate it? Of what? Of the money on the value of the house. So that's why you gotta do this. And a lot of students read this wrong and did some kind of thing and get it wrong. So that's why I wanted to make sure y'all check it out, okay? So when you do this, you're gonna cancel, and then you're gonna end up multiplying 4,500 times 5. When you do that, you're gonna get B. So Janella, you were correct, and you probably did another way, but it's important to understand what you need to get done. Everybody with me? All right, so let's keep it moving. The simple interest, and another way to do this, but you don't have a calculator. Another way to do this is just saying 5 cents times 0.05 times 4,500. You know why? Because remember, it's every dollar. You do have to divide, but you gotta divide 450,000 by a dollar because it's on every dollar. But you know that I'll give you back the same thing, but then you gotta multiply by the 5 cents. Okay? So don't get confused. All right, let's keep it moving. The simple interest on a sum of money invested at 5% per annum for 3 years was $90. The sum of money invested was, so here, what did they give us? They gave us R, they gave us T, and they gave us SI. So what do we need to find? They ask us to find the sum of money invested, which is P. Anybody remember how to do P? Remember, it's always what? SI times 100 over the two things that they gave you. And that's the same thing to find R and to find T. It's always SI times 100 over the other two things. So in this case, it's going to be what? It's going to be times R times T. Everybody following? So it's going to be 90 times 100 over 5 times 3. So that's going to be 9,000, 3 zeros over 15. Now, I'm going to tell you some numbers you should be strong in. You should know that when you add 15 plus 15, you get what? 30. Everybody know that? How many 30s can I get from 90? In 3. So if you could get 3 30s, how many 15s is that? That's 6. You see, you got to multiply smart. So that's going to be $600. Because you don't get this into this 6 times and you put back the 2 zeros. You see how you do quick maths? You need these kind of skills for paper 1. So these are numbers you must look out for. What is another number that's like that? 25 and 50. Right or wrong? Work smart. Okay? All right. So our answer is C. All right, let's keep it moving. And please do not let consumer questions take up all your time. Work smart. Because that's the point of consumer questions. It's a lot of working. All right. At the end of every year, a car is worth $5,000 less than what it was at the beginning of the year. So at January, your car gonna be one value. But in December, your value gonna drop by 5%. Keep in mind, the next January, you're going to start off with what you end off in December, because obviously that's where your money is when you start off the year. So that's the kind of concept you got to be thinking, okay? So it says here, if a car is worth $9,500 in December, then its value in January of that year, shouldn't it be bigger than this? Everybody talk to me. So you know which one can be the answer. A can be the answer. So just so that we know what we should be looking for. So we need to find, what do we remember? If it's not, and this is an easy question, do it by percentages. If this is the car at the end of the year, what percent is the car at the end of the year? In 95%. If at the beginning of the year, it was 100%. Right or wrong? So remember, we're supposed to put two things that equal. So at the end of the year, you're supposed to be at 95% because you dropped by 5. And if at 95%, you are at $9,500. Anybody see what CXC just do here? Anybody seeing this easy maths? How do you find what the car was at the beginning of the year? That means you want 100%. Just like in ratio, you put the two quantities that are equal, you find 1%. How do we find 1%? We divide by 95 on both sides. So 1% is equal to, because this is money. So what is 1%? 1% in $100. Talk to me, because these are the skills we need to remember. These are the most important skills we need to remember. They didn't ask us for how much is 1%. They asked us for how much is the money at the beginning of that year, which is 100. So we want to find 100%. So we multiply by 100. So 100%, which is what we started off with, would be 100 times 100. You add your 2 zeros, $10,000. Everybody see how I just do that? And this is the most important part. You balance, you equate the two quantities that are alike. The end of year percent is equal to the end of year money. You find how much 1% is, you could go back and find the original amount. This is the same thing with finding cost price and selling price. If they give you something that already got a discount taken out, let's say the discount was 10%. That means the amount you have are left back with a 90%. How do you find the original cost? Find 1% and then calculate 100. I hope everybody understand what I'm trying to say. All right. A television set costs $350 cash when bought on hire purchase. And what do we remember about hire purchase? What two things hire purchase have? Hire purchase has one, the deposit or the down payment, right? Plus total installments. And we should remember what the total installment mean. It means the money that we pay every month for a certain amount of months, right? So let's go. When bought and hire purchase, a deposit is 35. Okay, so we know we gotta add that because that's with down payment. And 12 monthly payments of $30 each. So what is our total installments? Our total installments is 12 times 30 because we paid $30 12 times for 12 months. So you just work out your maths, and this is quick maths. 12 times, just to remind you, you do 12 times 3 is 36. You bring back down the 0. Everybody see that? So what is the higher purchase price? The higher purchase price is these two things added up, which is 395. What did they ask? How much is saved by paying cash? What do you do, guys? How do you determine how much money is saved? You subtract. Excellent. So you subtract 350, and then you're going to end up with what? $45 is what is saved here. Lot of work, but you could do this. All right, let's keep it moving. We almost reaching in last question on the consumer, and we're going into algebra, which is easy stuff. So let's go. A man regular pays $3 per hour. Yes, we did this question before. Very good for noticing. A man's regular pays $3 per hour up to 40 hours. Overtime is twice the payment for regular time. So let me ask a question. How much you gonna get paid for overtime? Quick. Anybody? What's the overtime money he getting paid? If regular money is $3 and when he work overtime, he get double. What is that amount? 2 times 3, which is 6. Excellent. So that's the first thing you need to remember. 2, when do he get the overtime pay? Anything over 40 hours. So if he worked 41, he only gained 1 hour overtime and 40 hours regular time. Everybody see now? So check this out now. If he was paid $216, how many overtime hours did he work? How do we determine this? First thing first, we need to take out his basic wage. What is his basic wage? For the 40 hours that he worked, he get paid a standard amount of money. What is that standard money? So his wage in the 40 hours times the $3 times what he generally does work for. Talk to me. So that's 120. So if he did not work overtime, he would have gotten 120. Everybody see that? But look how much he get. So what do you think I need to do to find out how much hours he work overtime? I got to take away this basic rate already. Very good. So you can say 216 minus 120. When we say that, what do we get? 612 from is what? Excellent. $90. Now, let me ask a question. $90 ain't he overtime pay? So if we already know 1 hour is $6. How do we determine how much hours he had to work to make 60? What is the operation here? So we're gonna say 90 what? 90 plus 90 times 90 divide 90 multiply. It gotta be divided. Very good. And 90 divided by 6 is 15. This was a mistake this year. This number should be 15. Sometimes, hold on there. 19 divided by 8, it's supposed to be 16, and no, They made a mistake. I remember because when I read the report, this was a question they sent the correction for. Anytime there's a mistake at the beginning of the paper, the invigilator does tell you to fix the question before y'all begin. So this was one of the years that happened. But everybody see now? Wait. It's supposed to be 96. Yes. It's 96. So 96 divided by 6, and that's how they get a 16. But one of these questions had it all. Okay, good. So it's B. All right. Next one. Me working on this one. I need an answer from everybody. Everybody A, B, C, or D. If we can't work on this question, this is a problem. So let's go. A, B, C, or D. You should have a pencil and a paper close by. You need to work on this question immediately. And I'm giving y'all 20 more seconds. So again, different answers. Let's go. There's a reason I'm asking y'all to do this first, because this is a question. A simple question like this, which is the foundation of algebra, creates issues for students. So when you look at a question like this, you see brackets. So you should know brackets should go first. So if I work out the brackets first, I need to realize I am multiplying by -4. I am not multiplying by 4, +4. So it's going to be 3x minus 4 times x plus -4 times 6. So when you work out this, you can get 3x minus 4x plus -24. And when you work out this, you're going to get 3x minus 4x minus 24. 3x minus 4x is -x minus 24. So the answer is B. If you did not get it right, you need to really look into strengthening your algebra skills, especially with integers, because that's not a question we should be getting wrong at this point, okay? So please make sure you pay attention to what you are struggling with, and it is your own responsibility to fix it. Let's go, next one. Let me zoom in a little bit because I can't see. Okay, so we have another question with brackets. We know if they want the value for x, we need to solve, which means we need to transpose, but we can't transpose with brackets. So we know get rid of the brackets first. So that's 5 times 2x minus 5 times 1. So 5 times 2x is 10x minus 5 times 1 is 5 equals 35. Everybody following? We transpose. When this move over, we end up with 10x is equal to 40. I shouldn't have to explain why it's 40. We divide by 10 next. So we know x is equal to +4. Everybody with me? Next one. We did this before. We know this is what we call inequalities. Luckily for us, there's no negative signs, so that we know we don't have to change the direction of the sign. Because, for example, let's say this was -2 and they want us to solve and find x. If I divide by -2, this would change the direction of the signs, and all the signs would then point that way. Everybody following me? But because we're operating with positives, we have no impact on the signs. So we just got to divide by 2. But whatever you do to one thing, you have to do to everything else. So what we're going to end up with, 2 is less than x, which is less than and equal to 3. Which one look like that? Only A. All right, let's keep it moving. Next question, we know this is binary operations. So anytime they tell us a star, you know, it tells us that, oh, this one is different. They gave us the answer and we got to determine what the binary is. So we're looking for the pattern. When I have two numbers, 3 and 6, I get 12. When I have two numbers, 2 and 5, I get 9. So which one of these operations gives us the right answer? Keeping in mind the first number is always the A, the second number is always the B. Is it that when I subtract B from A and multiply it by 4, I get 12? Let's try that. 6 times 6 minus, let me just do it here on the side to show you what I mean. So let's test the first one. So this is the first equation. This is the second equation. This is almost like functions. They give you something and you got to substitute and see if the answer is correct. So let's go. I know B in this example is what? 6. So 6 minus A, which is 3, times 4. Let's see if we get 12. 6 minus 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So it works for this, but it has to work for this too. So let's see if it works for that. What is our B? Our B is 5. Our A is 2. So let's see, 5 minus 3, 5 is 3, 3 times 4. You realize it does not work for this? Everybody realize that? So it can't be A. Hello, everybody, let me know if you see what I'm saying. So Kazim thinks it's D. Let's see. Let's see if it's B or let's just go through it and make sure. A square is 9 minus B, which is 6. I get 3. So we know it can't be that. That's wrong already. Let's look C. Let's see if it's C correct. C is 6A, which is 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 6 is 12. So it works for this one. Let's see if it works for the second one. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 5 is what? 7? It's not 7. So that's not correct. Let's see if it's D. And A is 3, because look at here, A is 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. Plus B is 6. So 6 plus 6 is 12. So it works for this. Let's try the next one. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus B, and B is 5 here. We get 9. So it's correct. The answer is D. Very good. So everybody, do you understand this one? This one is just for you to check to see if you choose the right equations for the binary. Okay. All right. This is an easy substitution. Oh, not so easy. This one is a trial and error, to be honest with you. We need to find out, right? When we add two numbers, we get -1. When we multiply it, we get -6. Anytime you multiply two numbers and you get a negative number, what does that mean? That ain't mean one of them negative. Right or wrong? Anybody could guess what them two numbers is? And let's be real, what two numbers you could multiply to get 6? In either gonna be +2 and -3, or negative. Right or wrong? It must be these two. It can't even be nothing else, because look at it. The -3 must be bigger, and it because your answer is negative. Everybody see that? So either P is this or Q is this. You gotta use your sense. Multiplying, you get a negative number, one of them must be negative. Then which two numbers you could multiply to get 6? Is only 2 and 3. But when you add them, you get -1. So you know it can't be -2 and +3. Everybody see what I'm saying? Because if I add these two, I'm gonna get +1. So it can't be the second two. So don't be afraid to write down all your options. So let me go now. When I cube this, right? What do you think the answer gonna be? What is it going to be, guys? Somebody say A. Do you agree or disagree? Because to the third power means 2 times 2 times 2, right? Plus -3 times -3 times -3. 2 times 2 times 2 is what? That's a big, serious question. What is 2 times 2 times 2? Nobody answer me? What is 2 times 2 times 2? Okay, I'm just making sure nobody tell me 6. Because I would have jumped to the screen. Very good. It's 8 because 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Excellent. Plus, what is this going to give me? This going to give me -27. Everybody agree? Because -3 times 3 is +9, but +9 times 3 is -27. So we know what we're going to end up with. We're going to end up with A. How you get 35, babes? Remember what's going to happen here. Don't forget the rules, the integer rules. Plus and a negative going to turn into a negative. So 8 minus 27. Your answer must be a negative number. Okay? All right, so let's keep it moving. Every time I see these worded questions, I'll just be like, oh my God. We answered the last one. That was the last one here. Okay, yeah. Don't forget the negative. Okay, good. The distance L that an elastic string is stretched by hanging an object of mass m varies directly as the mass of the subject. So we spoke about variations. So they're telling us, right? The distance L that an elastic string is stretched by a hanging object of mass m varies directly. Remember this symbol? We spoke about that. Varies directly as the mass of the object. So this has a meaning. This means L is equal to K times M, where K is some kind of constant. Okay? So let's go. Everybody following me? This is proportions of variations. We did several examples like this in previous classes with paper ones. So let's go. They gave us some information now. If a 5K object stretches the length of 31 centimeters. So here, what does this 31 represent? What letter does the 31 represent? 31 obviously represents the length, right? The distance, L. So you put 31 here. Do we have K? No, we don't have K. So we put it back because they didn't tell us K yet. But they give us a mass. So obviously, M gonna be what? 5. Everybody following so far? How do we find K? We transpose, right? Very good. Now I want you to stop here for a second and check what's going on. You realize even before I read the rest of the question, I put my thing and I obviously know I need to find K, right or wrong? Do I need to go and wait until I read the rest of the question to realize I need K regardless? So even before we find K, let's read the next part. How far will a 29K object stretch the string? So you realize now they want us to find L for something that has a mass of 29. Everybody see, once we know what K is, we know how to find that length. Let's take a moment just to make sure we understand what's going on here. You use the information you get before to calculate what you need, which is K, to calculate the actual question. That's really how variation works, you know. The only difference or something that could come different is if they tell you, you realize here, they say varies directly. When it's varied directly, it's K times whatever letter. Whatever letter here is just going to be K times that. If they tell you it varies indirectly, this is how you have to write it. If they say L varies indirectly instead of M, it's going to be 1 over M. Because indirectly, I mean inversely. Right or wrong? So instead of L times K, L is equal to K times this. This is what it's going to equal to. So this is going to look like this. And I think y'all should write down this example. So it's going to be K times 1 over M instead, which could be also written as K over M. Everybody with me? So this one is directly variated, direct. I wonder what's going on with my pen. So this is what you do for direct variation. This formula here, and this is indirect variation. So moving forward, nobody should have any excuse to get this done. Okay, so let's keep it moving. We know we need to divide, we need to transpose. So to find K, we need to divide by 5 on both sides. So 31 divided by 5 as well. Do the long division, but 31 divided by 5 should be 6.2. Yeah, 6.2. Yeah, very good. 6.2. Literally can't see. So since K, I don't know what's going on with my pen. K is equal to 6.2. We could find L nominate because we just substitute what K is. So the length would be 6.2 times 29. So keep in mind, this is just a lot of calculation. Everybody should know how to multiply a decimal. So let me just do it just in case. You multiply like you're multiplying regularly. And at the end, how many decimal places you need to have? Just 1. Okay? So for the interest of time, I'm just going to use my calculator quickly. 6.2 times 29. 2.9, sorry. 6.2. How much you get? I can't see. 179.8. I need to find my glasses. This is really bad. So what the answer is D. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. So here we have what? What do we have? Matrices. So they gave us A. I'm going through this one. Everybody gonna got to tell me the answer for this one. So they gave us A and they gave us 3A. And what we should remember that 3A just means 3 times A. So that means all the elements in A should be multiplied by 3. So which one is the correct answer? I should see the answers rolling in, you know. You know, it can't be B because 3 times 1 could never give me 4. 3 times 1 could never give me -2. So these two out. And when you continue going, you know, 3 times 3 is not 6. So this out as well. So the answer must be A. Excellent. I hope y'all doing your matrix revision. We had an excellent revision class on matrices. I think I need to post it. I don't think I did. I will tonight. So if you need to revise it, please do. All right. We should remember the determinant. The determinant, which is represented in matrix. Please remember that these 2 lines in matrix is different from these 2 lines in vectors. Everybody with me? In matrix, this means determinant. In vectors, this means the size of the vector or the magnitude. And both of them got 2 different formulas. This one has AD minus BC. What is the formula for a matrix thing? It's the square root of X square plus Y square. Everybody remember that? Please do not forget the difference between the 2 of them. They're 2 different things in the 2 different topics, even though they have the same symbol. So here, we know A is 8, B is 6, C is 7, D is 5. So that's 8 times 5 minus 6 times 7, right? 8 times 5 is what? 40. Minus 6 times 7 is what? 42. Back check, please. So we should get B. All right. We're making strides. Now, quick question as we approach the midpoint. Everybody following? I hope everybody feeling better about these questions. Be honest. Y'all feeling a lot better with these questions? I'm not moving on until I get some feedback. I got 16 people in here. I need to know if these sessions are helping, that when we go through these questions, you are not still lost or don't know what you're doing or how to do it on your own. So, okay, because we need to start making some strides, okay? All right. How much time we do this question here? 1 million times. And I'm going to do it again. So we have P, we got vector Q. They want us to subtract P minus Q. So we're going to have 3, 7 minus negative 2, 5. So what we're going to end up with 3 minus negative 2. Don't forget you got 2 signs. 2 clashing signs. You're minusing from a negative. You're subtracting a negative. And then you have 7 minus 5. So what we're going to end up with? Positive 5 and positive 2. Everybody following? Because these two can come together and turn into a plus. All right, let's keep it moving. Vector questions. We should be able to mash up this by now. We should be able to mash up this by now. They tell us PQP going from Q to P is A. I have it here already. Going from Q to R is going B. No, I ain't answering this question. Y'all gotta tell me. How do I go from P to L? Which one is the answer? All right, let's see if y'all are right. First of all, PL is half of PR, right or wrong? Everybody see that? So for us to find PL, we must find PR and divide it by 2. That's why you realize all of them being divided by 2. So let's see which one is right. I want to go from P to R. How do I do that? I am going to go from P to Q. What is that? Then negative A. What do I do to go from Q to R? Then plus B. So far I got minus A plus B. And that's going to give me from P to R, but it's half. So that's why it's going to be this divided by 2. Which one represent the same thing? If I switch these two, B minus A over 2. Everybody see that? So at least everybody was close, but y'all see how we got that? So don't forget to follow the rules. When you're going the opposite direction, it's negative. In this case, we were going in the same direction, so that's why it's positive. All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving. I hate measurement questions. I shouldn't say that, but it's just facts. So there we go. The length of this expressed in meters. What did I teach you to do whenever you have stuff like this? Draw the conversion cloud. Millimeters to centimeters to meters in this case. To go from meters to centimeters is times 100. To go from centimeters to millimeters is times 10. Then from millimeters to centimeters is divide by 10. Divide by meters. Divide by 100, sorry. So in all, if I want to move straight from millimeters to meters, how much am I dividing by in total? In 1,000? Talk to me. How much jumps is that? That in 3 jumps. So essentially, 3800 divided by 1,000. Where do we put the point? Question, where do we put a point? Somebody, where do we put the point? If I gotta put a point to move it, where do we put it? We put it to the back and we jump 3 times to the left. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is B. Next one. The volume of a cube with 10 edge centimeter, 10 centimeter is what? What does a cube mean? A cube means all the sides are equal. The length is the same thing as the width, which is the same thing as the height. Everybody agree? I don't know why I put times there. And how do we find volume of those shapes? Length times width times height. So that's 10 times 10 times 10. So how much zeros is that? 1, 2, 3. Somehow, I don't know how students is getting this wrong. So I hope everybody following. Let's keep it moving. The distance around the edge of a circular pond is 88 meters. The radius in diameters is, what do we call the distance around a pond? A circle. What's the distance called? What I call? What's the name of it? What is the name of the edge of a circle going all the way around? If we don't know that, class done right now. Circumference, thank you. Very good. So we should remember, how do we find the circumference? You got 2 formulas to find the circumference of a circle. Anybody remember it? It's either 2 pi r or pi d. Guys, which one? Everybody see that? So which one is the one we need? Which one we need to use? The first one or the second one? What they ask us for in the radius. So which one we should be using? The first one. So they say the circumference is 88. 88 is equal to 2 pi r. And they want r. Which one is the answer? Let me see if y'all thinking A, B, C, or D. Because you really just need to transpose, right? How do we make r the subject? Or how do we find r? What's the answer? Thank you very much. It is D. Because if I want R, I gotta divide by 2 pi on both sides. This will cancel it. So R is equal to D. Everybody see that? For those who didn't answer? You realize this question don't need calculation. How do you know it don't need calculation? Look, they just represent pi by using the symbol. Because we know what is the value of pi, somebody. What is pi? Because this is not on the formula sheet. What is the value of pi? Excellent. 3.142. Pi has a value 3.142. Okay. All right, let's go. Here we have the volume of the cylinder. And again, look at the answer. We don't need to calculate the full thing. They just want us to set it out. How do we find the volume of anything? Y'all remember this? Area of this cross section times the height. So how do we find the area of that circle there? What's the formula for area? So first of all, volume is equal to area of the cross section times the height of the 3D shape. And it's a circle, so it is pi r square times h. So everybody remember this? In this example, who is not important? Pi is not important, so we just gotta focus on it. What is r? R is 3, so we put back the pi, 3 square times 8. Everybody following? So it's gonna be pi 9 times 8, which means pi times 9 times 8 is what, 72? But we don't ever put the number behind the symbol, so we put the number in front of the symbol. So it's going to be C. Everybody, if you got it, say got it, please, so we can move along. All right. Remember, our aim is to mash up paper one. We got to mash up all of this. I tired of seeing this question. Anybody could remember what the answer was? I remember what the answer was. We did this 3 times. We did this one question 3 times. If the length of this minor arc is 8, what is the circumference of the circle? What's the total? Anybody remember it? If you don't remember it, just say no. Thank you, Janelo. We got 15 people in here. Nobody remember? Nobody else remember? Okay, do you remember how to find the answer though? If they tell us that this arc here, the minor arc shown is 8, what is the angle that they gave us in 60? So we write it as a fraction, right or wrong? So it's going to be 60 out of what? It's going to be 60 over 360. Everybody understand why it is out of 360? Because if we look at an entire circle, this is just one fraction of the entire circle. And what fraction is that? 60 out of the total angle of a circle, which is 360, right? And so we're going to break this down, right? So this is equal to 8 centimeters. So when we break this down, 6 into itself 1, 6 into 36 goes 6 times. So we know 1 over 6 is equal to 8. Anybody remembering now? If we want the whole circle, how many 6s we need to make a whole? And 6. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. So I will get 6 out of 6, which is the whole circle, which is 1, right? Which is equal to 48. Yeah, we did this 3 times. So don't forget these questions too, because they are repetitive. Everybody saw how I got this? Let me know before I move on. This is the same thing, like you put the 2 values that are equal, you find 1, and then you find the whole. You realize that? Anybody realizes the same thing we're doing in different ways? You write the 2 things that are equal. This angle is equal to this length. So you put it as a fraction, 60 out of 360, right? We found 1. From the 1, we found 6 out of 6. And that's how we find the whole. Okay, cool. All right, let's do this next one here. Sorry, this is measurement as well when it comes to time. A man leaves his home at 22:11. What time is this in 12 hours? What is the 12-hour time for this time here? What time is that? What is 22:15? It's 10:15. How did we get that? If you subtract 12 from it, and you know what, you can't just tell me 10:15, you have to say AM or PM. Whenever you use a 12-hour clock, you must say AM or PM, okay? Everybody with me? So it's PM. Okay, good. And he reaches his destination at 4 AM. On the same time zone. How many hours did the journey take? Let me see if y'all can answer this without me. What answer is this? What answer is this? How long did he take? How many hours did it take? Nobody got the answer yet. Y'all not thinking about time. let's think, let me draw a clock here so y'all can see. Let me draw a clock so we can see, because we making some mistakes. Y'all forgetting how clocks work. So let me just quickly draw. I am a clock been up here, but don't worry, it look like how I feel. So let's go 12, 6. What is B here? What is looking wrong? 3? Yeah? 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. Now let me ask you this question. If the time, this is a shorthand, right? 10, 15. 1 hour is a full turn. Everybody realize how the clock is split up into 4? Let me use a different color. Because y'all need to start picturing things. Because there's no way you should even get a whole number. Any one of these here that got a whole number, you know is wrong. That's the first thing. Because what you're telling me is that if you leave 15 minutes past, how could it be a whole hour if the answer, the final hour is a whole number? Everybody see what I'm trying to show you? So there we go. For me to get a full hour, so how many, where do my clock have to spin to make it to 11 o'clock? If it is 10:15, how many does it need to go? A need to get another 45 minutes to get to 11 o'clock. So to reach to 11 o'clock, how many things is that? Then 3/4 of an hour just to make it to 11 p.m. So you see why it can't be D either? Because to make a full turn to make 11 o'clock, I need to go 3/4 of the way. Because if I am at 10:15, that would be a quarter. This distance between here is a quarter. So how many more time has to pass for it to make it to 11? It's 3/4 more of an hour it need to go, right or wrong? Everybody following? And then 12 p.m. is 1 hour. 1 a.m., that's another hour. 2 a.m. is another hour. 3 a.m. Y'all following me? They should not take even, these are the things you cannot make mistakes with. So that's another hour, and 4 a.m., that's another hour. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you cannot forget the other 3/4 to make up for the extra hour. If a question come like this, do not be afraid to do it like this. Everybody with me? To eliminate the process of making a mistake. So your answer could only be B. Think about it like that. That's why when you think about a clock, every 15 minutes is a quarter. Everybody following me? If it was at 6, that would be a half. All right. So let's do the next one now. Last question here. So here refers to two diagrams which shows a square and a rectangle. Which of the following is true about the perimeters of figure A and B? So what will we need to do? First, we need to find the perimeter of both of them to begin with, right or wrong? Because this is a square, all of the sides are 12. So we just say 12 times 4 is 48 meters square. That's the area for A. What is the area for B? We just go to the side. 16 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. That's correct, right? Guys, my brain, I need eye help. 9 times 1 is 9. 14, 144. Everybody see that? How are we looking? We good? So the perimeter for this one is 144. So which of the following true is about the perimeters? So which one is true then? A, B, C, or D? This should never have no meter square because it's perimeter. It's just meter. So yeah, let's go. What's the answer? Let's go. What's the answer? The answer must be B. Right or wrong? The perimeter of A is obviously less than the perimeter of B. Ain't true? Now here's the joke. Anybody realize that the area of A is equal to the perimeter of B? Anybody realize that? Because the area would have been 12 times 12, and 12 times 12 is 144. All right, but in this case, it's just a simple B. All right, we still got one more measurement, and then we're going into statistics. So let's go. Here refers to a square resting on a triangle. What in the if the height of the triangle is 4 centimeters, what is the total area of the figure? In this case, we got two shapes. So if you want to find the total area, you find the area of what? The triangle and the area of the square, and you add them up, right or wrong? So for the square, what is the area? The area gonna be 25 centimeters square. Do you agree? How we get a 5 times 5? Because if this is 5, this is 5. And area is length times length. So that's 25. How do we find the area of a triangle? Half base times height. Half base times height. What is the base? The base is 5, because you know it's a side of the square, so that's 5. Times the height, which is 4, that's 20. So half of 20 is what? 10? So what's the answer? A, B, C, or D? A. Simple thing. Easy thing, easy thing. All right, next one. Easy. What is the modal age? Everybody needs to answer these questions quickly. We're moving a little faster. What is the answer for 39? What's the modal age? A, B, C, or D? Kazim, what are you looking at? Remember, mode means the most frequent, the most popular. So which one has the highest number? 7 has the highest amount of students. So that means 7 has to be a modal age, okay? It has the most amount of persons that age. How many students took part in the survey? Let me see if we could do some quick maths. Let's go. On your paper, this is what I expect to, if I was marking your paper, this is what I expect to see. 3 persons are 4, right? 4 persons are 5, 2, 5, 1. So it's going to be 3 times 3 plus 4 is 7, 9, 14, 15. Y'all got 15. Very good. So the answer is B. Very good. Next one. Mr. Clark arranged the 15 test scores of her students in order of size and selected the 8th score for reporting purposes. Which of the following statistic measures did Mr. Clark obtain? The mode, the mean, the range, or the median? This is easy. Only one of those things is put things in order from smallest to biggest. Excellent. It must be the median. Very good. Very, very good. All right, let's go. The pie chart not drawn to scale shows how students use 12 hours in studying English, math, geography, and French. The amount of time spent studying mathematics is approximately what? What angle this look like? What angle is maths? Everybody see that? Everybody agree? That ain't look like 90 for true. Everybody see that? So it means then, how do I find the number of students who do maths? What would you do then? You're going to put 90 out of what? Always out of 360. Not subtract, and you're going to find it of the 12 students. Exactly. Of the 12 students. Everybody see that? and then we just cancel. So let's cancel this. Oh God. So 0, 0 cancel. One number could go into 3 and 6. 36. 3. So 3 times 3 can go into this 12 times. You realize how this works? Everybody see how easy this cancellation is? So about 3 persons. Or 3 hours, sorry. Okay. Let's keep it moving. If the mean of 4 numbers, 4, 8, and x and 12 is 10, then x is what? How do we do that? Let's work it out and see. Let's transpose. 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus x over, what would it be over? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers in it. Is equal to 10. Everybody see what I did here? They're saying how you find the mean, the sum of the numbers over the number of numbers equal to this. You realize all you got to do now is what? Transpose. So how do we transpose this? First of all, let's simplify the top. Let's add up here. When I add this and this, I get 24 plus x over 4 is equal to 10. Everybody agree with this? What do you do next? What do you get rid of next? We ain't get rid of the 4 next because we can't add x and 24. So we should focus on the 4 now. When we multiply by 4 on both sides, this and this cancels. So you're going to end up with 24 plus x is equal to 40. And we should know how to get x, right? We carry over the 24. So x is equal to 40 minus 24, which is 16. Everybody good to go with that? All right, this is looking like a probability question that we got already. I think we did this in a test already. Okay, so yeah, somebody confirmed that they remember doing this. Whew, I'm super tired, sorry. I don't remember the answer for this one, but I know we did it already. So it says, the table shows the results of 100 persons from 2 major ethnic groups, P and R. Respondents were interviewed about their attitude towards mathematics. So we got positive, neutral, negative, okay? Our respondents is selected at random. What is the probability that he has a positive attitude? Sorry about that. Our respondent is selected at random. So that means anybody was chosen. What is the probability that he has a positive attitude towards maths? So out of all the people, you realize they say a respondent, they didn't say nobody from P, nobody from R. So you realize why it is out of 100? If they were saying somebody from P, so you know if this is somebody from P, a total would have been 60. Agree or disagree? You have to pay attention to who they're selecting. So they say a respondent, that means that's everybody, from all the persons. So that's out of 100. What is the probability that he has a positive attitude? How many people have a positive attitude? That's 37. So it's going to be 37 over 100. We know this as a decimal as 0.37. Right? Easy stuff. All right, next one. Which of the following diagram best illustrates a function? Let me see who's thinking. You should remember what a function is. A function is either a one-to-one or a many-to-one. So which one is a function? Come on. The answer right there look good. There's a one-to-one there. B is a one-to-many, so it can be a function. Look at it. B is a one-to-many. We just say a function is either one-to-one or many-to-one. What is the most important thing? It must be going to one. Everybody seeing it? So this here, talk to me, make sure you're seeing it. This is a one-to-many. 1 going to many, so that's not a function. This is also a 1 to many. Once you got 1 to many, it's out. You only need to see 1 to many and it's out. You know, you realize that? This one is a 1 to many for sure. So that out. Look at this one. This is a 1 to 1. Okay, so look at the diagram carefully. All right, next one. Where does the straight line cut the axis? We did this already too. A, B, C, or D. Let me zoom in a little bit. Where does it cut the y-axis? I should be seeing answers flowing in quickly because we did this. We spoke about this. What's the answer? I didn't ask where did it cut the x-axis. I asked where it cuts the y-axis. We don't remember what the y-axis is. Where's the y-axis, people? Let me come down a little bit so you can see. Look at the y-axis. Where does the straight line cut the y-axis? The answer is D. Everybody see why it's D? Because here, this is where it cuts the y-axis, right? And if you look at here, the value of x here is 0 because look at where the x is 1 and this is where the x is -1. In the middle here, x is 0. So the point is 0, and where is it on the y-axis? -2. Always remember, x comes first, y comes second. So the answer is D. Okay, let's keep it moving. Next one, the gradient. Everybody pick an answer for me, please. What's the gradient? You got 2 ways you could do this from the graph. You could count. Remember, gradient is rise, how much it rise over how much they run. So I'm going to do it 2 ways because this is revision. Gradient. Anybody remember what letter is represented for the gradient? What letter do we use to represent the gradient in the formula? Excellent. M. So if you didn't remember, what equation I'm talking about? The straight line equation, which is y is equal to mx plus c. Well, we need to remember m is the gradient. Anybody remember what the c represents? The c represents the y-intercept. And what is the y-intercept? Where it cuts the y-axis. So we need to remember these things. This has a formula. What is the formula for gradient? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Which one does be the x, the 0.1 and 0.2 in this one? Which one is 0.1? The one more on the left is always the 0.1. No matter if it's up or down. The one more to the right is always 0.2. Everybody with me? So I'm going to show you 2 ways to find the gradient. Just confirm if you're with me, please. So from this graph, so only 2% so far, 3, 4, 5. Some people sending it to me directly. You could do that if you prefer to talk to me directly, or you could respond to the class. It doesn't matter. But I need you to check in with me, okay? So I'm going to revise the formula method. So this is the formula method, okay? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So where do we find y2? We find y2 at 0.2. Don't forget, that's 0.2. This is 0.1. So what is y2? y2, we go across to find what that is. That's 3. So that's going to be 3 minus, go to 0.1 to find y1. What is y1? 1. Everybody with me? I hope everybody following. Now let's look at x. Where do we find x2? Look at 0.2. We come now, where is x2? x2 is 6. 6 minus y x2, sorry, what is x2? 2? So what we're going to end up with? We're going to end up with 2 over 4. And we don't leave fractions like this, right? So what do? We break it down. This is the same thing as 1 over 2. How do we know this is correct? Anybody remember how to determine if this is a positive or negative gradient? We know if it's going upwards, it's a positive gradient. Agree? If this line is coming down, we know it's what? A negative gradient. If the line is going straight across, a horizontal line, we know the gradient is what? 0. Everybody with me? Now let me ask this question. If the line going straight down like this, oh sorry. If the line going straight down like this, everybody realize how the equation of that line is? What is the equation of this line here? This equation is what? Excellent. Is it y equal to 0? No. It ain't gonna be y equal to 0. It's gonna be y equal what? That's not the equation of this line. What is the equation of this line? This line is x is equal to 4. Is it y equal to 4? Remember, y equal to 4 would be when it's on the y-axis going across. This line is y equal to 4. Let me draw it in a different color. Green. Y equal to 4 is when this is y equal to 4. Because this ain't where 4 is on the y-axis here. This ain't 4 on the y-axis. But this ain't the 4 on the x-axis. Everybody watching what I'm showing you? Between the difference? So this equation is y is equal to 4. But this equation is x is equal to 4. Because look at the x, is the x value being on 4. It's not changing off of x is equal to 4. This one is y is equal to 4 because no matter where it goes, the y is always on the 4. All right, but that's not the point of us being here. So let's go back from all of this. I was just using this to teach different and remind you guys about different stuff. So what is our actual answer? Our actual answer is B. But that's using the formula. Suppose you don't want to go through all line, you want to use the graph. Using the graph. How do you get that? You have to use the rise over the run. Before I do that, everybody just let me know if you're ready. If you're with me still. So just let me know you're with me still and then I'll do it. Okay. We got to push as hard as we can. Exams in less than 20 days. Okay. So you should remember that gradient means the same thing as the rise over the run. So what does that mean? Look at the 2 points. Everybody see the 2 points? Everybody see the triangle created by the 2 points? It's almost like vectors, isn't it? Anybody realize it kind of like vectors? Anybody seeing the connection to it with vectors? Good. So you realize the rise. How many times does it rise? That's 1, that's 2. So 2 over the run. How much it running? Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 over 4. Then the same thing as 1 over 2. So we know how to find the gradient from the graph. Everybody with me? And from the equation. Okay? So you choose whichever one you think is easiest for you to calculate. All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. You know what we in now? We in functions. This question ain't come already. We did this question a lot. Functions always gives you some instructions, and this is the instruction. So they say whatever the value x, anytime they give you a value for x, you replace that x with that value. So if they ask us to find f of -3, everywhere we see x, we're going to put -3. So in this case, what do we substitute x for? -3. So we write our equation. So it's going to be 2 times -3 square minus 1. Everybody with me? What do you do first? You always square first. Keep in mind what BODMAS mean, because some people the other day was telling me they didn't realize what the O stands for. B is brackets. O is order. Another word for order is power. Another word for power is exponent. Another word for this is index. And the plural word for index is indices. Everybody with me? All these words mean the same thing. Order, power, exponent, index, indices. I don't know why they need 40 words for one thing, but that's how it is. Okay, guys? So just make sure you understand and remember these things and these rules. So as we see here, we got to do the power first. So it's going to be 2 times -3 times -3 is +9 minus 1. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 times 1 is 17. Math is the best subject in the whole entire world. So 17. Okay, so y'all should be able to do this for paper 1 and paper 2. Right or wrong? Everybody, you should be able to answer an easy substitution function question. Yes. We did this question already as well. No, honestly, tell me y'all if y'all remember this one. We didn't do this a lot. What's the answer? Where does the graph intersect y is equal to 0, which is me? Y equal to 0, talk about which axis? We just talk about this a lot. This is the x-axis. So it's x is 0, x is 4. Very good. This came in 2 exams. Actually, it was 3, to be honest. So the answer is A. Repeated questions, repeated questions. The same question came as well. What's the maximum? What is the point? What is the answer? Let me scroll out a little bit. What's the answer for the maximum point? A, B, C, or D? Don't tell me if A and A. Look at it and tell me what the answer is. What is the maximum point of this graph? We did this a million times. How I get that? Where's the maximum point located, my peoples? The maximum point in the top here of the curve. What is this point here at the top of the curve? Let me zoom in, see, because like y'all frightening me. What is the point here? What is this point? What is the name of this point? What is the coordinates of this point? I don't even care about A, B, and C. Everybody, what is the coordinates of this point? If you cannot tell me the coordinates of this point, we have a serious problem. And that's exactly what we're doing it. Who does always come first? X always come first, Y always comes second. So who should come first? What number should come first? When we come down, what is the X value? 2. What is the Y value? 4. We got to be on top of the game, you know. We can't be dropping the ball like this, especially with questions that are so repetitive. Okay? We got to be on top of our game. All right. We did the same question already too. But let me go back up here first. That question is stressing me out. I'm coming back to that one. Maybe really want to read that one right now. So let's do 52 and we'll go back to 51. Which of the following best describes the function above? The same thing that we spoke about before is what you got to do here. You have to see which one of these equations best describe how to move from 2 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 4. Which one would you pick? A, B, C, or D? This is another question that you should be able to do on your own. Come on, guys, let's go. You have to be pushing yourself to answer questions. All right, so let me look at it now. Sorry, I was just checking something. Okay, no problem, Janelo. The answer is A. Excellent job, because you really realize X, which is the answer here, is equal to X plus 3. When I add 3 to all these terms, I get my Y. So that's excellent job, excellent job, excellent job. All right, let's go. If the sum of the interior angles of a polygon is 4 right angles, then the polygon is a what? Excellent. Excellent. Next one. So if before we get into anything, anybody realize about how these two lines look? You realize they're parallel. So it's just that it gone across and it gone up a little bit. All right, so let's look at it. This is obviously vectors. So each point makes a movement. Remember, a vector describes a movement. So if you have A and B, let me use X and Y, see, because that's what it really should be. A vector is represented by X and Y. X tells us the left and right movement. So if X is positive, what direction did it move? To the right, agreed? When X is negative, the vector makes the object move to the left. When Y is positive, Y makes the object moves up. When Y is negative, Y moves the object down. So here we see in a diagram, we have a translation, and the translation is mapped onto. So this is the original. This is always the original. And anytime you see these 2 points, that means that's what happens after the original moved. So which 2 numbers do you think we should be paying attention to? So we have some options here, but let's see if we could generate the answer on our own. When we look at A, what happens to A? X in A. X moved from 2 to 4. So that would be what? A plus 2. Agree or disagree? You need to make sure it's the same. You need to make sure that the X moved plus 2 over here too. So B moved plus 2. So for now, our X value is 2. Everybody agree? I'm still not coming. I'm going to read your message after. So everybody with me now? The X movement is positive 2 because it moved to the right. And obviously for you to move from positive 2 to positive 4 is a positive 2. Now, let's look at the Y. Y moved up once because it moved from 5 to 6. So that's a plus 1. So you realize that's a 1 movement. Is that true for the Y? Yep. So that's our vector for the translation, 2, 1. So our answer is B. So let me just see if I can read Austin's message quickly. He said not necessarily because it could move it left once, but still. No, that's not true. If X is positive, the vector gonna move the object to the right only. A positive movement could never move it left. And that would make sense because look at the graph. How, if I had, for example, A is 1, you realize for me to go backwards, that's a left movement. And so to move from 2 to 1, then minus 1. That's the only way to move left. So be careful with what you're doing, because remember, this is not regular, this is vectors we're talking about. All right. Next one, what type of transformation we seeing here? Is this an enlargement? Is it getting bigger or smaller? This is a question for everybody. Bigger or smaller? Excellent. And how do we know it's getting bigger? The original letters is smaller, and then the second is getting bigger. So this is an enlargement of a positive scale. Okay. Now, anybody could guess what the scale is just from the diagram? What is K or C? But it's usually K we use for the scale. What is the enlargement factor here? When I ask for the enlargement factor, is the image doubling, tripling, multiplied by 4? What is it? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? It's 2. K is 2. Because look at it. Here we have 1, but here we have 2. Here we got 2, but here we have 4. Everybody see how enlargement works? So from the center of, they're always going to give you a center of enlargement. So let's say they ask you to draw it. So let me just make this clear. Suppose they ask you to draw an enlargement, okay? Everybody with me? So let me show you. Suppose this picture was not here, and in a paper too, they ask you to draw an enlargement. 2 things they're going to give you. They're going to give you the scale and the center of enlargement. What do you think the center of enlargement is in this case? The origin, right? 0. Everybody see now? The first thing you're going to do, you're going to take your pencil and your pen, and you're going to draw a line straight through every point. Luckily for you, in this case, both points C and B is on the same line. Everybody see that? Now check this. Each point will be doubled. So for example, A is currently located at what? A is located at 2, 2. So if I double this, where would my next A1 be? If A is here, where would A1 be located? A4, 4, because you're multiplying everything by 2. Where is this? They're saying at 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody see how you find it? Look at the next point. Where is C? C is 2, 0. When I double that, what does that come? 4, 0. They're saying 4, 0. I hope y'all understanding what I'm showing you, right? So I'm just doing a quick reminder of how to construct this on your own. Okay? All right. Let's keep it moving. So obviously, you see, what is the scale factor? The scale factor is obviously 2. Now, let me show you something, right? Anytime it's a shrinkage, the scale factor is just negative, okay? Next week, we're going to do 1 class with transformation only. I have to make sure because it's either negative or a half. I got to make sure because one of them is supposed to be negative, but I don't know if it's the matrix or the vector version. I just got to verify. Okay. All right. So let's go here. We did this already as well. What's the answer? If this line is 7, and what would this line be? Because look at it. What would it be? If this is half of this. Remember we did this a lot? This came up a lot. So the answer is C. This is what we call congruent triangles or similar triangles. Congruent means similar because the angles are the same. So even though the triangle is smaller, the relationship would be thing. So if this get half, this gonna get half as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, this is the last question. And tell me no, we ain't do this already. Even without looking, I could remember the answer, but what the answer is, depression angle, in it. They want you to find the height. Anybody remember the height? Because remember, this gonna be 30, right? And so if they want this length, which is the only option here, in the one that got tan, because if this is the missing side, which is what? The opposite The opposite and the adjacent. What ratio these with the opposite and the adjacent? Just tan. The answer is A. Look how fast we finish this exam. Okay, in all honesty, as we continue to do these sessions with the paper one, I need everybody to tell me right now how they feel in terms of confidence about paper one out of 10 before you leave. I need to know so I could see how much, if we need to do another, how much more paper we need to do. 51, okay. Post your score, please. Post your score. Okay, I like your WASI so far. All right, so my question to everybody, tomorrow's session, if you're gonna make it, should we do another paper one and then we let Thursday be our paper two? So Thursday and Saturday and Sunday paper two, and then today and tomorrow paper one. So tomorrow we do another paper one. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna do another paper one, and then Thursday paper two. What days until our classes again? I know Thursday. I don't think I said Friday, right? But I think I said Saturday, right? I'm trying to check. Give me a minute. Because we need to make sure we make all maximize. Okay, so this is the schedule. Today paper one, tomorrow paper one, Thursday paper two, Saturday paper two, Sunday paper two. But I am doing these specific areas. I'm going to do measurement, geometry, because we did geometry. We did number 10. We did 9, 10 last week. We need to do question 8, 3, and 6. Those are the only questions I've never gone through with you guys. So we need to finish that this week, okay? If you can't make it to class, the recordings would be posted. It is your responsibility to watch the recordings. Okay, guys? I am not begging nobody to come to class. At the end of the day, you are the one doing the exam. You should know how strong or weak you are. I am making myself available. So if you can't make it, you need to do the work. Okay? If you can't make it to any session, you know what you got to do. Watch the recording in your free time. At the end of the day, you gotta know what you want. A 3, you want a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and it's only going to come down to the amount of revision sessions you attend and how much work you put in on your own. All right, so that's it for tonight's class. I am going to go and post the recording in about a half an hour so you can have access to it, and the ones from last class, okay? So that's it. See you tomorrow. Ms. V, can you please get the formulas that won't be on the question? Yes, this week I'm going to put a summary sheet together by only sending persons who come to class. So thank you for the reminder. I'll work on it tonight. All right, no problem. All right, see you guys. Good night.